Hey everyone, what is up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ella and in today's video I'm going to be talking all about how to make friends at university in 2020 regardless of the pandemic. Now, just before we get into this video, don't forget to smash a huge thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to join my little YouTube family that we've got going on here. I would love to have you. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so I'm first off going to give some general tips and then get a little bit more specific. First things first, I should probably say that making friends is not a simple science, you know? And actually making friends is just as much about the other person as it is about you. The biggest thing I've learned is to really listen to what people say. Do not do the thing where you wait for somebody to stop talking just so you can get your point across. Really listen and take a real interest. If somebody mentions that they're interested in something, then ask them about it. It opens up all different kinds of avenues for conversation and then you can go from there. Now, it is true that like attracts like, but don't be afraid of getting to know people that are different to you. University is a big, wonderful and diverse place with people from different backgrounds, ethnicities, places and interests. Whenever you go into conversations with people, just don't have any expectations, you know. Also take your time and make sure you don't get tied down to one group too quickly. I definitely made this mistake in first year, and as much as it is good to have a handful of really close friends, I feel like at university it's good to have a wide range of friends from different places. So friends on your course, friends from societies, friends in your flat and your block, because that way you're creating a whole community for yourself, and you know, if you fall out with one group of friends, then you've always got another group to go to. Okay, coming up is some actually really good tips about making friends, if I do say so myself. Compliment people the right amount. There's nothing worse than someone who over compliments, but also compliments are a really good way of making people feel appreciated. So if you've noticed that someone's done something a bit different with their hair, be like, oh, your hair's so pretty. Don't say it like that. They might run a mile, but say it in, you know, just give them a compliment. It's a nice thing to do. But equally, don't be that person who just spends all day just complimenting someone, because that can come off as a bit annoying at times. Remember things people tell you, or at least try your best. Now, I have not got the best memory. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I remember everything everyone tells me. I try to remember if someone's told me that they have a big thing coming up. So let's say if my friend had a big game coming up, then I would ask her how it went, because that is a way of me showing interest in what kind of things she does in her free time. And in turn, her life. Check up on your friends. I cannot stress this enough. You could literally be friends with someone who is the brightest, bubbliest, happiest person you have ever met in your whole life, and they could be really struggling behind closed doors and you wouldn't know. Make sure you check in with your friends, ask them how they are. If you haven't seen a certain friend in a while, then check in on them. You never know the demons that someone is battling, and I think it's really important to make sure that you keep checking up on people as much as you can. Do not bitch about people. Do not do it. Do not bitch about people. Do not even entertain it. Brutal truth, everybody has bitched about someone at some stage in their life. It's one of those horrible things in life that everybody partakes in, and it's almost part of human nature in a way. But trust me, try your absolute best not to engage in bitching. Now, there are multiple reasons for this, but university is not the place for bitchiness. Leave it in secondary school. Just when you come to university, don't bitch about people. Everyone's in their own lane. Everyone's left home. Just like, don't bitch. It's not cool. Be yourself. You will attract the wrong kind of people if you pretend to be somebody you're not. And by being completely and unapologetically yourself, you will attract the right people into your life. Be kind. Just try to understand that not everyone has had the same background as you. Not everyone thinks the same way you do. And so the way one person might deal with a situation might not be the way you deal with it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're dealing with it wrong. So just try and have a bit of empathy and understand that not everyone is going to be the same as you. Say yes. Do you know what? Most people always assume that because of what I do, you know, filming videos and everything, that I am the biggest extrovert. But do you know what? In truth, I have to push myself to be really sociable. I have to push myself to say yes most of the time. But saying yes is what will bring you the best opportunities in life. And all I know is that there's times when I've wanted to say no, and I've ended up saying yes, and it's led on to some of the best opportunities that I've ever had. Take time out for yourself and make sure that you are looking after yourself, but also try to push yourself to make friends in the first few weeks, because you will thank yourself later on. University gets less hectic after the first few weeks, I promise, but by putting in the work in the beginning, you will thank yourself later. Okay, now I'm going to talk about how to actually make these friends, especially considering there is a pandemic going on. Because there is a pandemic, it obviously is going to make the whole making friends thing a lot harder. The main thing I can say is that your university will know this, and so they will have things in place that will encourage you to meet people in a socially distanced, safe way. They're not just going to leave you on your own to figure out. There will be things in place that you can do to still make friends. It just might not be the same as other years. So I'm going to talk about the different avenues that you can go down to make friends and my own personal experiences with them. So first and foremost, your flat. So I personally wasn't super close with people in my flat. I did make one really good friend called Lally, who I've mentioned in a lot of these videos, but I actually didn't bond with my flat that well, but it didn't really matter because, as I'm about to say, I did actually make a lot of friends in lots of different places. Secondly, you have your block. So these are people that aren't in your flat, but they are in different flats in your block, if that makes sense. So I ended up making my group of friends in a different flat in my block. I also met my ex-boyfriend at the time, so that was where I sort of had my closest friends during first year. You can also make friends on your course. So my best friend in the whole world, Jo, I met through doing my course, and we are still best friends to this day, but also I've made so many other friends on my course, so that's another avenue that you can go down. And of course you're going to have similar interests because you study the same subject, so that's always a positive. And then of course you have society. So these are different groups, networks, charities, all different kinds of things that you can join that are just places for you to make friends. So for example, the society that I am a part of is NSTV. I'm head of news at NSTV this year, and that is where I've made a whole other group of friends that I would never have met if I hadn't joined. But you know, there are so many other things too. There are sports, you know, acting, singing, you can learn languages, public speaking. There are all different kinds of things that you can join. So that just about rounds up my video on how to make friends at university. I hope that this video offered a little bit of reassurance, especially in the times we're currently in. I know it's definitely a scary time to be going to university, and it's scary going to university anyway, but especially during a pandemic. And yeah, I hope this video could offer a little bit of reassurance and maybe make you feel like it's not going to be as hard as you think it might be. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you'd like a notification every time I upload a new video. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, then my handle is @ella.houghton. Follow me on there for all the most up-to-date information on what is going on in my life, and follow me on TikTok. My handle is @ella.houghton and the last O is a 0. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!